Okay, so today we are staying at Moorfield Campground in Mesa Verde National Park, so let's go check it out. Located off of Highway 160 just outside of Cortez in southwest Colorado is Mesa Verde National Park. The park only offers one campground called Moorfield that's located on the north end of the park about 4 miles away from the main park entrance. Taking a closer look at Moorfield Campground, you'll see that there's 4 main loops with some sub-loops supporting both RVs and tent campers, and there's a total of 267 sites along with a group campground. There are a handful of hiking trails accessible from various spots throughout the campground. And then within 2 to 5 minute driving away is a ranger station, a corner store and cafe, and other services. If we zoom back out, you'll see that the main attraction of Mesa Verde National Park are the archaeological ruins, the cliff dwellings and pit houses and things like that that are found throughout the park. Now, generally speaking, those ruins are about 20-25 miles away from the main campground or Moorfield Campground. And about halfway in between there is Farview Terrace. And now Farview Terrace has some food services and gift shops and things like that. There's a lodge there. And there's also a sort of a hotel motel that overlooks the canyons and valleys and things like that. And it's also at Farview Terrace that the road splits that goes down to one side will take you down to the Longhouse Cliff Dwellings, and then the other side will take you down another canyon towards the Cliff Palace dwellings in the Mesa Top dwellings. Now there's some things that you need to understand about these different ruins is that on the Longhouse Cliff Dwelling side, there's a single parking lot, and then most of the ruins are accessible by hiking down to them. And that can be up to a 6-mile hike. So, obviously wear comfortable shoes and plan that into your outing to allow enough time and, pack a lot of water, all of that sort of thing. Now, if you go down to the Cliff Palace side or the Mesa Top side, you'll see there's generally going to be more ruins to go explore and visit, and that these are all accessible for the most part from the roadway. So there's generally going to be an area to park and a short walk to go see and explore and view those ruins. The other thing you'll see is that in some of the locations, so like for example the Sun Temple side, you get an excellent view of the Cliff Palace dwelling by looking across the canyon. Now you can access the Cliff Palace site as well. There's a parking structure there and a short little walkway that'll take you down to a overhang or a landing that will allow you to view the ruins up close. But you can't actually go in and explore any of these sites without a guided ranger tour, which is an additional fee. So you do need to go, you need to reserve that in advance and plan that into your budgeting for your trip to Mesa Verde. Now I do have videos of a number of these things that I'll share with you in this review, so do stick around for that. But first, let's take a look at the Moorfield Campground. We'll do a drive through a couple of the loops, as well as take a look at some of the sites so you can get an idea of what to expect when camping at Moorfield. So this is the Ute Loop. This is where we're staying. And we'll show you this compared to the other loops. The sites are generally fairly wide. Some have hookups, some do not. I'll show you a closer look at each of the sites. This is a general drive-through to give you a sense of what the loop looks like. our trailer right there on the left. The road is fairly narrow.
But it's one way.
And it is one way. But, you know, if you need to back in, you still got plenty of road. The angle of the site to the road is pretty easy to back your trailers in if you have to. Okay, this is the Walby Loop. We're staying over in the Ute Loop. You can see these, not a lot of shade, no hookups. These are probably tent-only sites, would be my guess. So this is Pueblo Road, which goes up to the tent-only loop. And so we're going to drive through that just so you can see what that looks like as well. And there's a lot of deer walking through the campground. So if you've got pets, they will go nuts. Only one of the loops is open, so it's this Zuni loop, so we're going to drive through that. And again, these are tent-only sites. So the parking pads are much more shallow. Mixture of just park along the side of the road as well as back in. This is a typical site. You can see that this particular site doesn't have a whole lot of shade. It's double wide, so you got a long run to put a long motorhome or bumper pull trailer or fifth wheel, and then you've got the width to put a second vehicle next to it. This site does have hookups, so you got water and electricity right there on the right. You've got a picnic table, and then over here you've got a fire ring that you just flip it down. It's also got a grate on it, so you can use it for cooking, barbecue, and things like that. So let's take a look at a couple more sites. Here's another site that no hookups or anything, but this one has lots of big trees, giving you lots of shade throughout the day. Okay, just outside the campground, there's a large parking lot, and in this parking lot, you're going to find your camp store, so if you need goods. You've also got a cafe here. The camp store is also where you register for your campground when you're checking in. Then you've also got coin-operated laundry and restroom and showers. And then there's a gas station. The gas station doesn't look open right now. I don't know if that's just a certain time of the day or if this is a COVID thing going on, but that's what's going on in this parking lot. There are a few restrooms scattered throughout each loop. They're very small, just a simple men's room and a women's room, and a little faucet out front and a small parking pad. So let's take a look at the inside. Bathrooms are cleaned daily, very dated, simple setup. No soap or anything like that in the restroom, so you do need to bring your own soap for washing your hands and all that. So one of the big attractions, or probably the main attraction here at Mesa Verde National Park, are the cliff dwellings that were occupied by the Native Americans, years and years ago. So we're on our way there now to go check some of this out. You can see this is right outside the campground. I think the main cliff dwellings are about 15 miles out, but I think there's some other smaller ones that you can go check out as well. So we're going to go see what we can find today, and we'll get some video of that as well. Okay, so we're wrapping up our camping trip here to Mesa Verde National Park, and thought we'd share some final thoughts about the campground and about the park itself. And so, what was your favorite part?
Seeing the cliff dwellings. I think that was pretty awesome. It would have been nice to hike down to them, but it's so hot and knees are not for it.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, clearly the highlight of the park is the cliff dwellings. The cliff dwellings. I mean, you're stepping back in history as you view these things. It's really, really cool. So, you know, highly encourage you to come check that out. As far as the campground goes, you can see we don't get a lot of shade here. Some sites get some shade, some don't. There's not a ton of sites with hookups. A lot of them don't have hookups. So, plan that into your, you know, into your trip, because you may not get them if you need them. Thoughts of the campground?
Campground was okay. Right now, just because of COVID, they're having just a few bathrooms open, so we had to walk down to the bathroom at the beginning of each loop, which isn't terrible, but is inconvenient if you don't have a bathroom in your facility.
Yeah, and there are no showers on any of the loops. So if you need to be able to get a shower, if your rig doesn't have a shower, then you need to take a trip up to where the general store and the laundry is. That's where the showers are. So
less than a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, it's only a couple minutes away, but it is still something that you have to plan for if you plan on getting showers for it. So there you go. That's a quick look at the park and the grounds and everything. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And we'll see you next time on Rough Riders. Bye.